I was working in my father's garage, pumping gas one day, and one of my customers had dropped off his car, and he waved goodbye and walked across the street and was hit by a car, and he died in my arms. I believe that God puts people and things in your way. And I know now that was the reason I became a nurse, because I wanted to have been able to do something. I remember crying after the ambulance left. I was, for whatever reason, telling this woman who was maybe 10 years older than me. She was a patient in a doctor's office I was working in. And I said that, you know, this was the reason why I became a nurse, and I told the story. And she said, I always wondered who was with my dad when he died. When my children were 3 and 4, the girl down the road said, my children go to the Mercy Center of the Arts. You should send your children there. It's wonderful. So that was my introduction to the Sisters of Mercy. They're very strongly faith-filled. Think about the sister who bought the college and had no more money than the money with which she purchased the land. And yet she had faith that they were to build a seminary for girls, and what has come of that college. So that belief brought by Catherine McAuley, that to change people's lives, especially women's lives and the poor, you need to educate them. I happen to have the honor of teaching in their practical nursing program at Mercyhurst College in Northeast. The students that come into the practical nursing program are very often people in difficult circumstances. And so they come to us and they're very rough. And we have a year to change their lives. When they walk out of there, I am proud to say that I've changed their life. I know I've changed their life. They'll have a better paying job, they're educated, they'll have job mobility, they'll always have a job, and they have usable skills, more usable skills than what they had when they came to us. It's very exciting to see someone say, I'm not junk, I can do this, and I'm a whole person. Being an associate has changed my life by making me much more free to talk about my faith. I actually had a student who got into difficulty and ended up in the Erie County Prison long after she'd left our program. And it was a year after that, and she came up to me and said, do you remember who I am? And I said, well, of course I do. And we chatted sort of generally, and she had made that, she'd been there a while, she had made that decision that she needed to take God into her being. I think as an associate, my spiritual life affirms living life to the fullest. Jesus lived life to the fullest. He ate dinner with his friends. He prayed, he worked, he played, and he loved. That's what my life as an associate is. I can come in and traffic was terrible trying to get here this afternoon, and you walk into this peaceful atmosphere and somebody says, hello, how are you today? I'm glad that you're here. That's what mercy is. Mercy is instilling the beauty that God gave us inside of all of us. The sisters are very inclusive. They're warm, they're loving, and they're still serving. I always tell my husband that if I'm ever widowed young, I'll become a Sister of Mercy. He thinks that's very funny. Associates get to share in the spiritual life of the sisters. I say morning and evening prayers using the Sisters of Mercy prayer book. And when I pray that prayer, I am doing it with the Sisters of Mercy in our community here in Erie, in Buffalo now, in Pittsburgh, in the Philippines, in Rochester. Praise in the morning and thankfulness in the evening. I guess I had never felt the power of group prayer as I do with the Sisters of Mercy. It just feels like the whole world is praying my prayer. My God, I am yours for time and eternity.